Hey everyone, welcome to Thoroughbred Action from Gulfstream Park. I'm Acacia Courtney. It's a gorgeous Saturday afternoon here. 11 races on tap, including the Grade 3 Mr. Prospector. Great card assembled today. We're happy you're joining us. Here's track announcer Pete Aiello with those track and weather conditions.
Picture perfect weather for horse racing action on a Saturday in South Florida with 11 races in total and a carryover in the Rainbow Six. Fast main track and a firm turf. First of the day over the main track at 6 furlongs. Maiden claimers in for $50,000. A field of 7. The off-time favorite was number 2, Quizzical Cajun.
Racing at Gulfstream. The first race favorite, Quizzical Cajun, begins nicely. Here's Shanghai Go-Go moving up and 3 wide. Follow his footsteps. He's smoking hot as away, racing in 4th now. Back at the inside, Lucky runs north ahead of Rattle 'em, and 4 wide at the back is Super Courage. They make their way now down the backstretch, and with the advantage, it's Shanghai Go-Go, a length and a quarter. Quizzical Cajun, follow his footsteps. They're racing 2nd and 3rd. He's smoking hot as 4th, 3 better than Rattle 'em. Then to the inside, Lucky runs north, and at the back of the field is Super Courage. Around the far turn they go. They move now to the final 3/8 of the contest. And with the advantage, it's still Shanghai Go-Go on the outside. Follow his footsteps. 3 wide. Quizzical Cajun is next. Looking for racing room as he's smoking hot. Lucky runs north, finds his best stride for Jesus Rios. He'll have to go 4 wide. Meanwhile, Paco trying to figure out where he wants to go with he's smoking hot, and they're at the top of the stretch. The advantage to the leader, Quizzical Cajun. On the outside, it's Lucky runs north over the top, but he's smoking hot. Fired up in between horses, and he's up for the lead now. He's smoking hot, moves away from Quizzical Cajun with Lucky runs north on the outside. He's smoking hot is the winner. It's he's smoking hot for Joe Orsino and Paco Lopez to win by 3. Lucky runs north 2nd, Quizzical Cajun 3rd, Rattle 'em finish 4th.
Number 2, Quizzical Cajun, gets caught up in a pace battle in today's first race. That enables the 5, He's Smoking Hot, to kick by. He won with authority here today under jockey Paco Lopez for trainer Joe Orsino and owner Jack Hendricks. It was 3, Lucky runs north, who ran on for 2nd, and ahead of number 2, Quizzical Cajun, who had to settle for 3rd. To the second race now on the start of the early pick 4 on turf at a mile and a 16th. Scratched the 2, 9, and 10. These were 2-year-olds. The favorites were 6, A Thread of Blue, and 7, Dull Knife.
And they're off. Dull Knife was a step slow. A step quick was A Thread of Blue, who's firing right to the top and works to the rail already. Away in 2nd is Kentucky All-Star. English B is at the inside 3rd. Far outside, that's Joyful Heart away at joint 4th. Dabo is working between horses. Dull Knife is 3 wide at the back of the field as Bluegrass Parkway saves ground toward the rail. They're separated by 5 lengths, and they chase A Thread of Blue. A Thread of Blue and Sayas try to back it down. They lead the way a length and a quarter. Kentucky All-Star 2nd. At the inside, English B follows along 3rd from Joyful Heart in 4th. Then Dull Knife on the far outside. He's a bit headstrong now, racing 3 wide at the back of the field in between horses Dabo and Bluegrass Parkway. 24 and 2 for the opening quarter speed. Down the backstretch they go. A Thread of Blue doling out the speed, leads the way 3 parts of a length. On the outside in Kentucky All-Star 2nd. Good trip so far for English B toward the rail 3rd, ahead in front of 4th running Joyful Heart. Then Dull Knife, still parked 3 wide. Dabo between horses, and riding the rail is Bluegrass Parkway through a 49-second half mile. They leave the backstretch and move on to the far turn. A Thread of Blue has the lead 3 parts of a length. Kentucky All-Star tries to ratchet up the pressure well 2nd. Up the 3rd is Joyful Heart. English B toward the rail 4th. 3 wide and Dull Knife from between horses. Dabo, Bluegrass Parkway at the back, but he's starting to find his best stride. He follows English B, who tries to get to the leader. 3/4, 113 flat. They're at the top of the stretch. A Thread of Blue comes away with the lead. English B into the clear with Bluegrass Parkway. 1/8 of a mile to go. A Thread of Blue given the green light by Sayas to kick away, and he does just that. English B tried him but could not get by. A Thread of Blue, a gate to wire winner. He'll win by 3 in the end. English B 2nd, Bluegrass Parkway 3rd, then Dull Knife and Dabo.
Number 6, A Thread of Blue, secured the easiest kind of lead and kicked on very nicely in today's second race under leading jockey Luis Sayas for Kieran McLaughlin and Leonard Green. Second one, English B ahead of the 3, Bluegrass Parkway. Saved ground and kicked on for 3rd. We'll be right back.
One of the world's most anticipated thoroughbred racing events of the year returns. The 3rd annual Pegasus World Cup Invitational at Gulfstream Park in South Florida. drawing competition from around the world with a $16 million purse split between 2 Grade 1 races. On the dirt and on the turf. Experience the incredible fashion, spectacular world-class service and entertainment, and the unrivaled adrenaline of the Pegasus World Cup Invitational. Saturday, January 26th at Gulfstream Park. Get your tickets now at PegasusWorldCup.com.
Back now for race number 3 on the program. 2-year-old fillies of the maiden special weight variety travel 5.5 furlongs. A field of 6. All the hype for number 3, Oramore.
And they're off. The favorite Oramore was last to begin. Tappett's Princess won the start, but toward the rail, Eastern Princess quickly on the attack, and Corey Gal moves up on the outside. Big Tina between horses. So after winning the start, Tappett's Princess does no better than 4th early, with the big favorite Oramore trying to find a spot to race here. Now Oramore's going to duck to the inside and start to get underway. The trailer is Purple Girl. Around the far turn they go, 3/8 of a mile out from the wire, and the leader is Corey Gal by a length and a half. In the 2 path, and now on the move is Oramore from 2nd. She's had to work pretty hard to get into that spot. Big Tina is 3rd. Tappett's Princess is 4th. Eastern Princess is now back to 5th, and the trailer is Purple Girl, and the leader is Corey Gal. Corey Gal to the top of the stretch, overhauled now by Oramore. She just needed a 1/4 of a mile to figure out what she was doing. Is now Oramore and John Velasquez have taken over the lead. Corey Gal hanging tough and battling on toward the inside. Well clear of the others with Big Tina 3rd, but inside the final furlong, this daughter of Orb was well hyped, and well hyped for good reason. Oramore for Todd Pletcher and Star Ladies Racing to win by 2.5. Corey Gal was 2nd. Big Tina was 3rd. Tappett's Princess finished 4th.
A lot of hype coming in for the daughter of Orb, number 3, Oramore, and it looked at the start like that hype might have been a little bit shaky, but she just took a while to get into high gear. Once she got into high gear, she humbled the competition under a nice ride from John Velasquez for Todd Pletcher and the familiar royal blue and yellow of Star Ladies Racing. Second, number 5, Corey Gal, ahead of the 2, Big Tina, who ran 3rd. We move to the 4th race of the afternoon, 5 furlongs over the turf, maidens of the special weight variety, with a field of 9. Heavily favored was the 9, Lady Worthington.
And they're off. Wow. Over leverage just ducked in and unseated the rider. The 2 is out of the race, and that pretty much eliminated the 1, share the blame as well. The 2 made the inside rail as they left the starting gate. Up front, Skoll has the lead by a head. Grenadier on the outside, 2nd. Olympic Runner is 3rd. Super Jaguar between horses, 3 wide, and Lady Worthington, then 5 to Higgins. Down inside, it's Half Shot. And as mentioned, number 1, Share the Blame, not being persevered with, and the 2 unseated the rider. They run to the top of the stretch. It's Skoll in front now by a head. Grenadier on the outside is 2nd. Paco looks for room for Olympic Runner. Super Jaguar also needs some place to go through a 22-second opening quarter speed. Off the turn in the stretch drive. Grenadier tries to get Skoll. Olympic Runner, no place to go. Paco still awaiting racing room for him. Down the center, Super Jaguar. Loose late is Half Shot. They're swarming in on Skoll. Olympic Runner never got through. Super Jaguar surging at Skoll. Skoll, Super Jaguar, it's Skoll. Skoll, and Jose Ortiz holds on to win it over Super Jaguar. The inquiry sign will be up. Hold all tickets, please.
Very tough start to today's 4th race. We are happy to report that the 2 over leverage was okay, and so was Irad Ortiz Jr. as the son of Fed Biz just made a left-hand turn out of there. Meanwhile, up front, it was his brother, Jose Ortiz, who got the victory aboard Skoll for Arnaud Delacour and Green Lantern Stable. We move now to race number 5, a first finish line race at a mile and a 16th. Claimer is in for $6,250. Scratch the 7, Bama Bound. The favorite was the 2, Brown's Gap.
And they're off. From the rail, WW Concerto, centaured by Chuck Lopez to try to get the lead, but there's a couple of pursuers, including King Power and the big favorite Brown's Gap, who works between horses. Racing away 4th is Diplomatic Shaft up on the outside at Midnight on Broadway, then Unexplained. Regal Force is 3rd last, 2nd last Whiskey Shiner, and the early trailer is Judith's Sunset. Around the first turn they race, and WW Concerto intent on getting to the front, and he has it now a length and a quarter. Racing second is King Power. From third is the big favorite Brown's Gap. He's angled out. He's in the clear now and 2 lengths behind. Racing in fourth is Midnight on Broadway, followed fifth outside by Unexplained, Diplomatic Shaft along the rail. Then it's a length and a half to Whiskey Shiner, third last. Second last is Regal Force, and dropping back farther is Judith Sunset. 23 and 4 for the opening quarter speed. To the first finish line they run. With the advantage, it's WW Concerto in front 3 parts of a length. Samuel trying to turn up the pressure with King Power second. Their big favorite Brown's Gap poised and ready to strike. He's third and only a half length off the lead. 4 clear of the others, led by Unexplained as they round the far turn. King Power now puts a neck in front, 3 wide, and Brown's Gap toward the rail. WW Concerto boxes on. These 3 still have separation on the rest, led by fourth running Unexplained. Then Midnight on Broadway with less than a quarter of a mile to go. King Power between, 3 wide Brown's Gap. WW Concerto is next. Unexplained starts to make up some ground while wide, then Whiskey Shiner, and they're at the top of the stretch. The 3-way battle continues. Brown's Gap on the far outside. WW Concerto battles hard toward the rail. Back to third, and dropping back is King Power. In deep stretch, it's Brown's Gap who finally edges away. Brown's Gap will win it. WW Concerto second, King Power third, then Unexplained and Whiskey Shiner.
Number 2, Brown's Gap, takes care of business in today's 5th race. He's just a grizzled pro, and he was up to the task under jockey Edgar Zayas for the Big Frank stable and trainer Jorge Navarro. Number 1, WW Concerto, fired a big shot to get second, ahead of the 5, King Power, who ran third. Time for a commercial break. When we come back, we'll bring you the Rainbow Six. Don't go away.
Go Zipper is pulling away. Go Zipper blows them away with an eye-opening performance. Awesome again has won. Go Zipper kicking clear. Judy the Beauty.
And we're back now for race number 6 on the program, the start of today's Rainbow Six sequence. 2-year-old maiden claimers going 5.5 furlongs for $12,500. Scratch the 1 down to the felt, a field of 10. This was a wide open betting race.
And they're off. Picture perfect beginning. Toward the inside, Rolsas for Jimmy gets the first call and fires to the top. Racing up on the outside, Dream of God now moves to be second. Toward the inside, Quest Approval is out of there third. Splitting horses is Mr. Lucas. Why Trust between horses. Out wide is Noble King. Then back to Field Officer with WW Handsome and My People Sing. And the Canadian Invader Monday Morning Memo is last of all, as Rolsas for Jimmy has the lead. Rolsas for Jimmy in front to half a length. Dream of God on the outside second. Mr. Lucas, 3 wide third. Why Trust appears loaded. He's racing from fourth, no place to go while on restraint as they make their way to the top of the stretch. Iro Hernandez and Dream of God put a neck in front. Mr. Lucas on the outside of him, now wheeling into the center as Why Trust to launch his bid. Then Rolsas for Jimmy as they wheel in. With the advantage, it's Dream of God in front, but dealing with the trouble of Why Trust, who's launching a bid on the outside. Why Trust and Dream of God. Why Trust on the outside with the momentum, and Why Trust now overhauls Dream of God, who's game while second best. Why Trust in front. Dream of God was second, third Rolsas for Jimmy, then Mr. Lucas.
Nice performance here today from number 8, Why Trust. And how about jockey Irad Ortiz Jr.? He takes a tumble and comes right back and wins easy aboard this son of Poseidon's Warrior for trainer Oscar Gonzalez in the Just for Fun stable. Can't say enough about our jockey athletes here in South Florida. They are tough as a $2 stake. Second, number 3, Dream of God, and third was number 2, Rosas for Jimmy. To the 7th race now on the start of today's late pick 5 on turf, around 2 turns at about 7.5 furlongs. Off-time favorites included 3, Passport to Chaos, and 9, Another.
And they're off. From between horses, Passport to Chaos, one of the first to begin. Up on the outside, Harlan's Hunch is away with speed. Moving up down toward the inside, that's Dropkick as Motatan also saves his inside spot. So in the charge to the first turn, it's Harlan's Hunch who crosses over ahead and leads the way by a length. Motatan cuts the corner and takes second. Up on the outside, it's Examiner now third. Colonel Moorhead off the shelf and now races from fourth. 2 back to Passport to Chaos in fifth. 6th inside is Ghost Giant. Then to the outside, it's Another. He's racing racing 7th. He's dropped better than 7 or 8 lengths off the lead. Settled behind them is Bantu. Then it's the team of Caloric and Cash Dividend. It's a length and a half in front to second last running Dropkick. And 12th and last is Colmatine behind a rock-solid quarter of 22 and 3. They're strung out over maybe 15 lengths in the run past the half-mile marker. It's Harlan's Hunch in front to length and a half. Motatan is there second. Racing third, Examiner. He hasn't played his cards yet. Then it's a gap of 3 to Passport to Chaos. He's on the outside of Colonel Moorhead, who's down toward the inside. 3 wide and on a move, and trying to get going is another. Saez has him 5 lengths off the lead. They converge on the leader. In fact, they've inhaled the leader as another makes a big sweeping move to take the lead. Following him and tipping into the clear is Bantu, far outside in the gray Caloric. Still many chances here as another has the lead with less than an eighth to go. Bantu and Caloric coming after the leader now. Another almost home. Caloric, Bantu surging. They come to the wire. Another in front. It's another for Louis Saez, literally, as Caloric is in a photo with Bantu for second, and then Passport to Chaos.
If you watch South Florida racing on a year-round basis, you know that moving wide on the far turn on the grass doesn't usually pay off. The only person who seems to make it move is jockey Luis Saez. He does that move quite often lately, and he's been winning with it as he gets another home with that move for Bill Mott and Harvey Clark. 7 Caloric at a huge price for second. 12 Bantu ran third. To the 8th race now. We stay on turf, but we turn back to 1 turn at 5 furlongs. Start of the late pick 4. Scratch 11 and 12, a field of 10. Favorite was the 8, Kerluck.
And they're off. Was a clean beginning. From between horses, Razorback Lady was away well. Here's a bit of mischief rushing forward alongside Catharsis with Mercurial Miss. Our happy ending trying to save her inside position. Kerluck, the favorite, is in and amongst rivals while racing about 5 lengths off the lead as Tap Taparoo just tapped on the brakes. Out wide on the course is Bright Venezuelan, and the trailer is Lena Marie as they speed to the far turn. Robbie Alvarado puts a bit of mischief on a clear lead. Leads now 3 parts of a length. Catharsis is there second. Razorback Lady is third. Tap Taparoo looking to come on from 4th. Kerluck's on her outside, then Mercurial Miss. Our happy ending ahead of Bright Venezuelan as they move for home. 21 and 4 for the opening quarter speed. It's Catharsis who's up on the outside of a bit of mischief for the front. Catharsis now, and then Razorback Lady challenging the leader late. Razorback Lady at Catharsis as they come inside the final 16th. It's Razorback Lady and Romero Mirage. She's 35 to 1, and she's a winner a length and a quarter. Taparoo was second. Third, Catharsis in 56 and 3.
Hold on to your hats. It's a big upset in today's 8th race. It's number 6, Razorback Lady, the Arkansas bred, at better than 35 to 1 under jockey Romero Mirage for trainer Patrick Biancone and owners Patrick Biancone Racing and Martin Schwartz. Second, number 2, Taparoo, and third was number 4, Catharsis. To the 9th race now. This was a very nice allowance race to start the late pick 3. 1 mile over the firm turf, the journey here. Scratched to 6, 9, 13, and 14. It's a field of 10. The favorites were 1, Zenner, and 10, Bricks and Mortar.
And they're off. Good start for Krampus and a good start for Irish Straight. They're the first 2 out. Splitting that pair is Mr. Cub. And up on the outside goes Jay's Way. And Tombalane trying to get some forward position as taken in hand 5th is Krampus. Then back to the 2 favorites. Zenner to the inside of Bricks and Mortar. And the 3 at the back are Revved Up, End Play, and Space Mountain. Around the first turn they go. And from the outside gate, it's Jay's Way at 60 to 1, leading by 2 over Mr. Cub second. Irish Straight on the outside, third. Krampus parked at the rail, 4th. On his outside is Tombalane, 2.5 clear of Bricks and Mortar. Then comes Zenner, followed out wide by End Play with Revved Up in the 2 path. Saving ground at the back is Space Mountain. They make their way to the opening quarter station in 23 and 2, and they go to the half-mile point. Jay's Way now with pace pressure from Mr. Cub on the outside. Irish Straight is 3 wide, Tombalane between horses. Krampus is at the rail behind a 47 and 1/2 mile. The 2 favorites are still running lockstep to each other as Bricks and Mortar now gets a half better than Zenner, who begins to look for racing room. Followed by Revved Up. To his outside is End Play, and the trailer remains Space Mountain. And now the pace quickens. Mr. Cub and Chris Lenderos up to take the lead. Irish straight second, Tombalane third. Bricks and Mortar 3 wide, Zenner driven, not gaining. Krampus has a shot, but he's got no place to go as they make their way now to the top of the stretch. 3/4, 1:10 and 4, and they're at the top of the stretch with Mr. Cub in front and Bricks and Mortar bearing down on him on the outside. Mr. Cub still there. Bricks and Mortar one more time on the outside. Mr. Cub, Bricks and Mortar surging. Bricks and Mortar's got him. Bricks and Mortar will win it. It's close then for Mr. Cub was second, then Krampus ahead of Zenner and Tombalane.
Irad Ortiz Jr. gets his second winner of the afternoon. It comes aboard the Son of Giants Causeway. Number 10, Bricks and Mortar, who's destined for graded stakes company. He gets the victory here today for trainer Chad Brown and owners Clarovich Stables and William Lawrence. 5, Mr. Cub fired a big shot and was well clear for second, ahead of the 3, Krampus, who finished third. Time for a commercial break. When we come back, we'll bring you the feature race. The Mr. Prospector graded stakes horses at 7 furlongs right after this. Back now for race number 10 on the program, the 64th running of the Grade 3 Mr. Prospector. 7 furlongs over the main track for $100,000 in guaranteed purse money. A field of 11 signed on. This was a wide-open betting race.
And they're off in the Mr. Prospector. Croy got a good beginning. So did Cole Front on the outside. Belle Tapisserie being ridden hard to try to contend with these top two. Away in fourth is Wild Shot. The gray Heartwood is down toward the inside fifth early. 2 clear of Uno Mas Modelo, who broke well today, but is just out sprinted. Same can be said for Conquest Big E, who's out in the center of the course. Down at the inside goes K Choice. It's a gap of 3 to Storm Advisory, and then it's a gap of 5 to the 2 at the back. They are Sweet on the Ladies and JS Choice. They make their way to the half-mile point, and it's Croy and Paco Lopez in front. They went the opening quarter in 22 and 2, and they lead the way now from the outside. Here's Wild Shot taking his shot. He's second. Cole Front 4 wide. Belle Tapisserie begins to lose his pitch. He's now back to fourth. Heartwood's got a shot from there. He's down inside looking for racing room. Uno Mas Modelo guided into the 4 path with Conquest Big E 5 wide. Meanwhile, Storm Advisory rides the rail into contention through a 45 and 1/2 mile. There's a quarter of a mile left to go in the Mr. Prospector, and on the inside it's still Croy, but Storm Advisory got through toward the fence. Cole Front is laying on the leader, and down the center Heartwood. 1/8 of a mile to go. Cole Front now straightens up and kicks on again. Storm Advisory toward the inside second with Heartwood down the center and Uno Mas Modelo. But they come to the finish, and it's Johnny V and Cole Front to win the Mr. Prospector by 3 in the end. From Storm Advisory second, then Heartwood, Uno Mas Modelo, and Sweet on the Ladies at 123 flat.
Nice performance today from number 11, Cole Front, as the son of Stay Thirsty straightens up and kicks it into another gear in the final 16th of a mile. He's now a graded stakes winner for Todd Pletcher and jockey John Velasquez, owned in partnership by Head of Plains Partners and Bob LaPenta. Good try here from number 3, Storm Advisory, rolled up the fence but could not go with Cole Front. 11th and final race on turf at 1 1/8 the starter allowance optional claiming event. Price tag here was $25,000. A field of 12 with the scratches of the alternates. And the off-time favorites were 1, Race Me Home, and 4, Who's Your Drama.
And runners away. Hoosier Drama was away smoothly, so was Chief Exchanger. Moving up on the outside is All Go. Outside of him and Grandpa Knows Best marching forward, and widest of all, it's Franklin Towers. So the outside 3 will use their speed to get over to the inside as Franklin Towers and Grandpa Knows Best land 1-2. All Go is third, and Chief Exchanger races fourth, followed fifth by Son of Oahu. Next at the inside is Race Me Home. He's about 5.5 lengths off the lead. Then it's Hoosier Drama. On his outside goes Gaultier. He's better than 7 lengths off the lead. 1.5 lengths in front of Major Attitude, who's fourth last. Third last is Barney Rebel. And the 2 at the back of the field include King of Spades and Bold Rally. Into the backstretch they race, and at a big price, Grandpa Knows Best and Brian Hernandez Jr. throttle clear to a 3-length lead. Franklin Towers is second, All Go is third, Chief Exchanger fourth. Son of Oahu is now fifth, Race Me Home has got no place to go. Up and on the outside here are moves from Gaultier and Barney Rebel. Barney Rebel is 4 deep on the course. Meanwhile, well. Riding the two-path position there is the Gray Hoosier Drama, racing ahead of Major Attitude and Bold Rallies at the back as they swing to the far turn. 47-2 for an opening half mile. They round the far turn. Grandpa Knows Best is given way. All Go and Franklin Towers now 1-2. Chief Exchanger looks for racing room behind them. Then Grandpa Knows Best. Son of Oahu needs out. He's working out. He's about 4 or 5 deep. Race Me Home's going to run into a pocket. He'll need out as well. And they're at the top of the stretch. Race Me Home got into the clear right when he needed to, as the leader is now Chief Exchanger. All Go battles on from second. Down the center. King of Spades is coming on at a big price. 16th to go. It's Chief Exchanger with the lead. Hoosier Drama, Race Me Home, second and third to Chief Exchanger. It's the old pro for the money under Irad Ortiz Jr., his third win of the day.
Irad Ortiz Jr. completes the hat trick here today, as it's the 8-year-old getting ready to be 9-year-old Chief Exchanger who gets the victory from a bit off the speed. He's a grizzled pro, and he'll do whatever you want him to do, and today he does just enough to get the victory. Elizabeth Dobles does the training. Imaginary Stables, the winning owners. Irad Ortiz Jr. for his third winner of the afternoon. Number 4, Hoosier Drama, was second, and number 1, Race Me Home, ran third. Nobody had 6 of 6 in the Rainbow Six. That means there's a carryover tomorrow with a first post time of 12 noon.
And that wraps up today. We have one more day of racing to round out this week before Christmas. We hope you'll be joining us. 12 o'clock first post is that Sunday afternoon here at Gulfstream Park, and we look forward to seeing you then.
Hit the hay. I've been working all day. Hit the hay. What do you say? Hit the hay. Hit the hay. Well, I'm tired. Let me tell you, Jack, I'm so tired.